It's me again, PK, with another episode of PK Talking It Out. So, this week we are going to talk about, well, let me see. So, I was thinking, as I told you, I kind of just started thinking about the podcast, you know, the day of I'm going to record it because I don't know, I just kind of like the idea. I'm talking it out, right? I'm not trying to give you no polished up, speech or conversation or anything. It's just, hey, these are the things just pop up on my head or whatever. But however, today the three things, cause I like that idea, the three things too. So I'm trying to do that as well. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. Three things I kind of want to talk about. And where did I get that from? The three things. I think some show I watch or whatever always has all their titles being like three things happening. I can't remember what it is right now, but every title is three things. So if anybody knows what that show is, shout it out, because I can't remember. But anyway, getting off topic again. So I wanted to talk about, but today the three things came to me like real quick and earlier today. So this video, or well, this podcast episode, I kind of more know what I'm talking about. But of course, as you know, as I'm talking it out, anything's likely to come out to my mind. But anyway, I want to make it short though. I want to make it short. I told you I like to keep these shorter than I have been. But anyway, here we go. So one of the things I know I did want to talk about was I started thinking about the pandemic. It was some things came on across the, TV this week that was talking back about the COVID pandemic. Not so much just the disease, just that issue, that pandemic, but the pandemic. Cause I know for me, the pandemic is not just COVID, like, getting COVID, not getting COVID. It wasn't just that, or the vaccine and not, it wasn't just that. It was, to me, the pandemic was years, because it was around 2020, because I think that's what it was. It got mentioned like when kind of that first shutdown occurred. And it got me thinking, because I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize it was that early that it happened. And then how long things kind of, the repercussions from it, the circumstances from it, all of those different things that came from it, got me thinking about it. I was like, oh my goodness, 2020 was what they said. And I was like, 2020? Oh goodness. I don't know. I think I was under the thing of 2021, because that's when I got COVID in 2021. And I've mentioned this before in different videos and stuff, how I still I don't still quite feel recovered from COVID. And I think a lot of things that are happening or have happened with me medically, like physically with my body and stuff, I think a lot of that is contributed to the physical and emotional and mental things that took place or impact on me with the pandemic as a whole, not just getting COVID, because I didn't get COVID where I had to go to the hospital, but I did have, some very tense days there where, I hardly remember it, because that's just how out of it I was. But, my family tells me, they were really concerned that if I didn't get up, when I did get up, to go figure out I had COVID, because I didn't think it was COVID. I don't know what I thought, because it just happened. It came over me so fast, y'all. But anyway, I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking about the COVID. I'm talking about the pandemic, the years of that, things there. So it got me thinking about that, and I just want to talk about that just briefly, because it did kind of, I had a moment this time thinking about it, and I was a little lifted this time. My it wasn't as heavy talking about it and thinking about how I felt during that time and the different things that were happening, and and what happened after that, and just different things, because my life just took completely different trajectory when that happened. And so I just kind of, it's all glooped in, so the years don't really be defined for me. So now I'm realizing that 2020 through, for me, 2020, maybe 2 or 3 is before I felt like, oh, I could go back out a little bit and not feel so awkward being out around other people, and all the different things that were going on with the mask and the not wearing the mask and the staying the distance, and all of those things. Y'all, we all know what was going on, not going on. I don't know, but for me, the pandemic had a much more of an impact on me physically, mentally, and emotionally than I ever really thought. And I really think I didn't know it until 2024, when I started just, I don't know, something click, and I was like, whoa, all of these things with my body just not bouncing back like it used to, you know, um, all the arthritis in my body now. I mean, literally all those things have happened just over the last couple of years. I had no issue walking, a few earlier last year. I had no issues walking last year. Now, I got so many issues walking, sitting too long. The arthritis is just a big deal. And like I said, it went from, oh, you got arthritis in your wrist, which I was surprised. I thought it was carpal tunnel all these years, but it was, that and arthritis and a nerve damage somehow I had done to my some bone in my wrist, or nerve or something in my wrist had done some damage to. So it was just really weird, right? So I'm thinking back, I'm like, whoa. And I'm not saying, oh, it's to blame, but I think it put my body and mind in such a uh like, I don't take this lightly saying this, but some sort of, because I'm going to say it sort of put my body and mind and spirit in a almost like a traumatic experience I went through. And if you've gone through very, very serious traumatic experiences, it can create, that what post-traumatic syndrome disorder, whatever. But like I said, I'm not trying to allude to anything like what military people go through, and people who've been through maybe more horrific things. No way. But I sort of, like, I want to say, because I don't, that I do not take lightly, that people, that what you can go through. But I feel like my body went into a state of that and caused it to be so vulnerable for all these other things to go through. And then I completely shut down socially. Never been I've never been the party person or something like that, but I had been a person who was very much, I didn't mind going out by myself, if I ain't by my, significant other or something. I never was the person who had a problem going out, find me a restaurant, go and eat at, find me a place I want to go to, especially when I got down here to Georgia. I made it a point to at least probably 2, sometimes 3 times a month. I went on what I call these one tank day trips, where I fill my car up and I would find some place, and and this is the funny part. It was always with the intent to find a brisket place. I love brisket. So, good brisket. So I literally went, so many places around Georgia. I mean, really, wherever I could go within, probably at that point I said, I think I did maybe, if I can drive there in maybe 150 miles or 200 miles, I do it. Like I went, outside of Georgia in some cases to go, because there's some, where I was in such a good spot that either direction I went, I could, find, be at the other tip of Georgia or be in South Carolina. I mean, it was just funny. But anyway, so I did that for, a few years when I got down here, and I loved it. So I had been, person socially out. I was having fun doing things I like to do. And then I realized once that pandemic hit, and then even after that, like to this day, y'all, I haven't been to a movie theater. And I used to go to the movie theater because, again, I had no problem going to a movie theater by myself. I'm not, like I said, I had no problem being out and socializing with myself. I have not been to a movie theater since the pandemic. And now I'm realizing when that person said it was 2020, I'm like, good Lord, I have not been inside a movie theater since 2020. And since that was probably early, we might have to say I haven't been in a movie theater since 2019. How crazy is that? So anyway, it got me thinking about, whoa. So I saw it differently now, because before I was like, okay, I'm still not ready to be around people. I knew that. I just still wasn't ready to be around a load of people. But last year, I lifted that veil a little bit and did some things with my sister. Went out to some festivals, food festivals, and we went to some music things, and I had a fabulous time. And I wasn't, I wasn't overwhelmed by the sensory of being around a lot of people as I had been before. So anyway, it just got me to thinking it is time, to really work on that again. So I am, committing to myself to start getting back out here, doing those things I like to do. I like to go to, little town centers and stuff like that, and find, little places, coffee shops and different little bakeries, or, little niche kind of things. I like to find those and enjoy them. And I like to, just socialize. So I'm going to do a couple of things, that, I've just determined that by the end of this year, I will have, started getting back out socially, again. So that is a promise I've made to myself today, because like I said, it all came to my mind all today, like, oh, what the heck? You have not been living, so it got me thinking about that. And then I got to thinking about, that made me think of, and then of course, guys, always some song that's going to pop in my head when I'm thinking about stuff. And today's song was Back to Life, by, oh geez, I don't know I forgot who the people are. Oh geez, I had it on the tip of my head. But anyway, it's a Back to Life song by Soul to Soul. That's the name. Oh, how appropriate, right? Just forgot that. But anyway, so Soul to Soul, Back to Life. And again, some of the words are very, very, very meaningful as far as what I'm talking about. But I think it popped into my head because it's just saying that back to life, back to reality, and that's what I haven't been doing. And again, reality in the sense of my own reality, not this reality that's going on out here, this reality TV world we're living in. And yes, I said that. This is a reality TV world right now. And if you don't believe it, just take a look. This is all crap that we didn't see, would be playing out on the probably worst reality TV show ever. But it would be a reality TV show, and everybody's watching, everybody's watching is trash, but we all watching it, let's face it. And that's what I feel like the world is right now. One big old huge reality TV show that is just god awful, But I do feel like that's just it. It is a reality TV, not reality. And so we have a chance to create a different reality that that we can see, our children are going to see, we all can experience and live a better world, however that sees fit for you. Okay, so that's putting that out on anybody, putting it on myself. So I think the song speaks to you individually. Back to life, back to reality, back to those things that feel good to you, are good to you, good for, even good for maybe the world. So anyway, that's what, I plan on doing, is getting back to my life. I'm working on my physical health. Oh, that was the update, y'all, from physical therapy. I got an update with that. I have physical therapy next week, so prayers up for me on that. That I can stay in that and get some effects from that so that we don't have to have a surgery, okay? Because, like I said, at this point, if it does not get better, there's no way my surgeon, my orthopedic is not going to say, hey, MRI time and you're going to have a surgery. I don't want a surgery, y'all. I don't, because my wrist is already, got to do something with that. Probably beginning of the year, the left wrist, the right one. Y'all know the story, so I ain't going through that. But the left one, we're going to have to do something because I'm having, it's not quite as extreme as the right one was, but Lord knows I don't need it to get as extreme as the right one was, because the right one was just, painful, painful, painful. But I'm having those moments where, trying to pick up something and it obviously is just too heavy for my wrist, or ligament is, tearing more. So anyway, that's where we are with that. But I gotta stay focused on that because, like I said, I'm going back to life, back to reality. I'm going to not so much go back to pre-pandemic, because I don't even like people who say that pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. I just feel like life, goes in seasons and swings and stuff. So I feel like I'm just going into another season of my life, and I want to and I was trying to have refocus on the things I like, the things I want, the things that make me happy. That's just really going to be my reality, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So, that's, where I am with that. So the other thing, though, I did want to talk about, again, I know I said I'm going to be quick with it, but I almost never do. But anyway, was the laughing experiment. Because remember I said, oh, I'm going to do that for a month and come back. I think it is a month now. But even if it's not, I want to just talk about that a little bit, because something came out of that laughing experiment. So if you hadn't heard this one, or remember, I had talked about that I'd seen some information about um, hugs, that we need hugs. Human beings need hugs, hugs, hugs daily. And, we don't get them. They disconnect us from things. And when we get them, they connect us to, the good things, good feelings and all this stuff. So it's like scientifically we need hugs. And I also said, well, gee, who in the heck getting all these hugs all the time? Because I don't even think when I've ever been in any significant relationship with somebody, or even living with somebody, even if you're saying your kids or something, I don't even think I hug my kids, 4 to 8 times a day or something. But anyway, every day. Because they're saying like every day you need to have it. Almost like, water. Gotta drink the 8 to 10, glasses of water. Well, that's the same thing they're kind of saying with the hugs. So anyway, I said, well, I don't know what these hugs thing, because I can't control that. I'm basically by myself most of the time. So, I can hug myself, but I don't think it's the same. But anyway, so I said I was going to do laughing. I was going to laugh. Like I was going to intentionally laugh. And I do a lot of laughing most of the time, because I watch a lot of things that just make me happy, or, put a smile on my face, and, I find funny or something. So anyway, I've been intentionally laughing as many times as I can a day, and I do think it has really helped to, discharge those endorphins and oxytocin or whatever, things, the happy feelings or whatever. So it definitely does that. And again, I always feel better after a good laugh. I mean, even if you kind of been in a sad mood, somebody makes you laugh, you can't do both of them at the same time. So the laughter does win out. So, and we hear laughter is the best medicine. So I'm going with that as one of my prescriptions now. Laughter every day. Gonna have to laugh, So anyway, that experiment came out really good, and so good that I want to share it. So I'm gonna start a new playlist on my YouTube channel, Positive Vibes with PK, and I start another YouTube channel, playlist, just called, laughing, just for laughs. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but look out for it, because I'm going to just put out videos that, made me laugh, or, I think are funny, not far as, just anything. So it might just be a clip of something, or it might be just me repeating a joke I heard, or repeating something I thought was really funny, or whatever. It's just, a little quick one. So they'll be just shorts or whatever. And I want you, look at them, y'all, because like I'm telling you, them laughing, intentionally laughing, really it's so healthy, and it was so uplifting, and it really took me out of some deep, out of some low points where I was feeling a little low, and I would remember or find something I was looking at and make me laugh, and I kind of would forget where I was, and then it just kind of changes the mindset and shifts that emotion, and that emotional energy, because we do have that emotional energy is so, so, so powerful. And I don't think we really realize it. We always think about energy as outside of us, but it's inside of us that is the most powerful energy, really. Anyway, that's why I down another Talk It Out, podcast episode about the emotional energy that we all have. But anyway, let me wrap it up. And let me say to everybody, have a great, wonderful weekend and week. And I will see you guys or talk to you guys next week. And thanks for listening. And thank you for viewing my YouTube channel as well. Even if you maybe not, getting these things, but I do thank everybody for viewing that channel, because again, it's just meant for positivity. It's meant to uplift and put us in a better, happier place. And so people are watching it. I would like to see it really go viral, like they say, as other people's, these, with views. But it isn't, that intent is not, like I said, I always started, if it's one person other than me seeing my video, I'm ecstatic. I'm telling you, y'all just don't know. I see a video just get more than my one view on it. I'm so happy, because I'm like, that's it. That was the goal, right? Get somebody else see the video and then uplift them, maybe inspire them, whatever it does, in a positive way. So thank you very much. And it got a lot of different things coming out. So keep an eye out on the channel, please. And talk to y'all next week. Bye bye.